Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Alexander Williamson here with The Secret History, living in your aquarium. We're going a little later tonight. Um, I just wanted to let you guys know I've been having some health issues since for the last few weeks, honestly. And so they've had me on prednisone and methotrexate and hydrazine and then Benadryl, which is basically what hydrazine is, anyways. And then gabapentin and Dupixent, which is, and then Aluminulab. And so, if any of you guys are out there, I know a lot of you guys have said you have autoimmune issues, you'll understand those medications and the frustration that they invoke in not letting you sleep, and then sleep 2 hours, awake 5, sleep an hour, awake 2, sleep 8 hours, awake a day, then asleep, so that everything gets all screwy. Aaron, I'm sorry to hear that you have to go to a rheumatologist, but I hope it went well. But yeah, so I just wanted to say I apologize for if I'm ever like getting tired on a stream or whatnot. Like when I start out all perky and everything, uh, I'm probably gonna just have to cut it short. And the truth is, lately, I feel like I'm doing really good, and then an hour or two will go by, and especially if I'm really into something or whatever, I don't realize the pace at which things are deteriorating. And so, one, it kind of honestly was embarrassing, and two, I want to put on a good show and have a good time and chat with you guys. You guys are my friends, so thank you for the understanding. Also, if I have to reschedule or miss a stream, I used to be more wishy-washy with my streams, and I'm trying to have them every week at the same time. And for me, I know that sounds like, oh, a schedule, welcome to being an adult. But unfortunately, that's the truth of my situation, is that I do a lot of the making of my videos and things in the dead of the night, middle of the night. It's when I work best anyways, as like a creative person that's a night person anyways. But beyond all that, like I tend to crash at the end of my time being awake, which a lot of times happens to be during the afternoon stream. I'll then go to sleep, take a nap from the late afternoon, early evening for 3 or 4 hours, and then be up again and maybe take another nap at like 4 a.m. or something until 8 a.m. or whatever, depending on when my wife's working. But in any case, let's get over all of that, see how everybody's doing. I hope everybody's doing well. Also, I got for those of you who know about the sleep apnea and stuff, I have a CPAP machine now, so that's exciting. I got it a little bit ago, like almost a month, but they had to do like a software update because apparently there's a kind of sleep apnea that is for people with like overweight or just genetic predisposition to it, or it's in your family, that kind of thing. And then there's another kind of sleep apnea that is related to what I have, or is what I have, I guess I should say, that they call neurological or central nervous system associated sleep apnea. And that's basically it's almost like a form of narcolepsy also. So when I went to my doctor to be like, hey, what's going on, why am I like so tired lately, that was another piece of the puzzle, was that like, hey, well, the reason you have sleep apnea is also in the day the reason why you have petit mal seizures. So if people don't know, from my head injury from the lightning coming up on 4 years ago, when I had the traumatic brain injury to my head, just like I was okay for the first 4 or 5 days afterwards, then I went downhill and I started like losing my ability to speak and like put sentences together properly, started showing signs of stroke, basically. Well, there's also like a latent, when they call petit mal seizures, rather than a seizure where you shake and everyone knows you're having a seizure, foaming at the mouth and stuff. There's also a type called a petit mal, which is like a whole type, and that can happen when you're just like staring off into space and your brain just goes blank. And so yeah, um, but yeah, Timothy, I would get tested for it. I went thinking, I just have always had insomnia. I don't have sleep apnea or anything like that. And they told me I was waking up to 89 times no, a minute. That's what it was. Was it a minute? No, not a minute. It couldn't have been a minute. It must have been an hour. 89 times an hour. So I wasn't even getting like a minute of sleep sometimes. I was waking up like because of these, like, basically like right when you fall asleep and you feel like you're falling and you jerk, if you've ever done that, like your body goes into a form of paralysis, sleep paralysis, and you're usually not aware of it. So you don't hurt yourself and act out your dreams. But sometimes as your body's falling asleep, your body does this last, like, no, I don't want to go to sleep. And it twitches for some reason or another. They don't know exactly why. But that's also somewhat like the nerves firing that I've been having issues with also. So, in any case, let's not worry about the health stuff. I just yammered on about that for 5 minutes. So, let's see who's in here on this a little later than usual stream. We got some of my favorite people. Hooah! What's going on? Do we have an ex-Marine in here or something? Jimmy P, good to see you, my good man. Jose, good to see you. Aaron. Emma the Sea Witch, who is up very late, I believe. Linda Worth, hello. Check the fish box, hello. Aaron, I said hey to you earlier, but hello again, girl. Josh Hayden, what's up? Sky Dancer, Aaron's Water Buddies, Jungle Nook, what's up? I don't know if I've caught you in the stream before, so welcome. Shannon, what's going on? It's good to see you. Lady Rorschach, Lady R. The guppies, which I will be getting to you shortly. Well, probably next week, honestly, so it's not that shortly. But the winners that got guppies last week when on the stream where I was like exhausted, they will be getting an email soon. I've told Aquatic Arts about the winners, and I hope to be doing more giveaways soon. You know, I tend to not work with brands all that much on this channel. I find a few like independent businesses or mom and pop type businesses that I really believe in. Aquatic Arts, Redfish, Bluefish, Dan's Fish now, obviously, that's the big news. And Shrimp Envy, the Garden of Eater Shrimp. You know, people that are like busting their butt all day for what they love and what they believe in. And, you know, I've been there or I've seen their entire operation. I've watched it for years. And then I'm like, okay, I believe in that, or I use their product or whatnot. But I may not be beyond hitting someone up like Fritz or ZoomEd in the interest of maybe getting some free giveaway stuff, like giving away a tank or giving away whatever, a filter or something like that would be super fun. So, or a light. So let's just say I'm going to start chasing down some of those options just because I like giving back to the community. But I will never plug a product. I mean, I'll say what it is, but I'm never going to be like, this is a great product unless that's how I feel and it's been tested. So you got that promise from me. Koro, what's up? Guppies in Tanganyika? Probably. I don't know. Are there? Is that what you're saying? Is that what's happening? Somebody throw guppies in there again and again and again. Aussie's Fish, what's up? How's it going? Timothy Reed, yeah, saw you. Let's see who else in here. Aquasora, what's going on? Hello. Ray Aquatics, good to see you. My computer always wants to restart right when we're doing a stream. It's like, hey, would you like to restart and ruin your day right now? Anton, is that Anton Slayev? Is that LeVay? Is Anthony? Is it LeVay's somehow spread? What do you call that? an anagram, whatever. No, not an anagram. Is that whatever? Pseudonym, pen name? I don't know. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyways, Anton LaVey, speaking of an interesting dude. Pony Girl, what is going on? Good evening. Good evening. Aquadicted, I like that. Featherfin Films, I like that name too. Lots of fun names in here. Rokaroo, oh, I like that name a lot. Another great name. Let's see here. Ooh, I think Dan's Fish was the place with the endostomus I need. Yeah, so tonight we're gonna go over some of my favorite like stuff that's available out there. So we'll probably look at a couple websites, but I want to show you guys a couple things that I got first. That I'll probably be doing some videos and maybe shorts. So the other big news, guys, is that I learned how to edit. Okay, so I always knew how to edit, but I learned how to edit on my current phone. I learned I bought $50 software that lets me edit like you would on a computer somewhat, and it should be pretty exciting. So yes, that's right, Josh Hayden, that is the one. There's no S in his last name, so I might be off on what I was talking about the other fella's handle. Hey, it's Johnny from Dan's Fish. Yeah, what's going on, Johnny? How are you, man? So I want to on a much more bright and chipper, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed evening. I do want to say hello and announce, formally again to those of you who may not have been here or seen the video that I'm going to be working with Dan's Fish because I do really believe in what he's doing, and he's bringing in fish / sourcing fish from breeders and hobbyists that no one else is. They're expensive a lot of times because that's why no one brings them in. I mean, one is either they're expensive in the first place, they're rare in the wild, they have to make it all the way here. Then if you have something like a catfish or a puffer or a pleco, you have to deworm that and you have to get rid of the parasites, and it is a nightmare from the standpoint of a fish shop. Most people won't do it. However, Dan will. He has done the research. He's a smart dude, and he's got their team over there, and he's one of the few people that will bring them in. Now there's some people that bring them in and don't even do anything to Live Aquaria, Arizona Gardens type places, and many others. But what I really appreciate is when one place is out of stock, now we have several choices. And oh, you're in the process of deworming a big batch of Amazon puffers now, according to Johnny over at Dan's Fish. So let's just spill the beans, guys. If you want to buy something from Dan's Fish and you'd like to help out the channel and you'd like 10% off the order at Dan's Fish and you're a new customer, so maybe you've never bought anything there before. If you bought something there before, you may not qualify. Maybe have your husband or wife buy it on a different browser. I don't know. But no, so you get 10% off for all first-time customers. And also, it's just like letting them know that I'm helping out, letting them know that when I say something, how many people end up going over there or whatever. But really, the main reason I wanted to partner with them in the sense of, I mean, they're not just flat out paying me to advertise or anything like that. It is a commission. So I'll get a 2% residual off the profits of sales that get referred. And I wanted to be really open with that, so you guys know, like, that's the incentive. It's not like I'm getting a check for $1,000 a month, or like it's not like Raid Shadow Legends where they cut you a couple grand to do an ad right away or anything like that. And so I really wanted to be able to show more fish on their website and talk about like, oh, there's this cool fish that they just found and who has it. And like half the time when I'm looking for who has this cool thing that I'm trying to talk about, it is at Dan's Fish. And so I I just figured, you know what? Between Aquatic Arts, Dan's Fish, Redfish, Bluefish, the Wet Spot, it's no secret. If you're a long time keeper, you know the spots to go for niche things. If you need like really crazy high end and rare morphs of Caridina shrimp, you're probably going to go to like the Garden of EDER shrimp. There's a discount code with them. I've tried to find somebody in each niche of live creatures, plants, and animals in the hobby. And, you know, honestly, tissue culture plants is the last one that I wish I could help you guys out with a discount code. Because at the end of the day, what's nice is that affiliate things, oftentimes there's an incentive for you. So you guys get a discount or something free out of it. I do too. And it's not taking anything from the bottom line. It's just considered like, what do you call it? You know, marketing. It's figured into the whole deal. So in any case, that's what's going on. If you want to get that 10% discount for new customers, if you've never ordered from Dan's Fish, or if say your husband or kid or dog want to order on a new account, or maybe it's been a really long time and you know you just need to reset up, order on there. Go to the link in my description and it will take you straight there to their website, and keep track of whatever you get there, and if you return, I believe too. They have a pretty slick system, and leave it to Dan and Johnny. You know, they've got it figured out where it's all set up. It's not just at the end of the month, you know, like on a scrap of paper or anything like that. No, no, no. So yeah. Feather fins. Oh yeah, minnows. I cannot say that type of name very well. Silorenchus minnows. Definitely cool. Oh, nice. So Johnny also says we are going to be bringing in some tissue culture plants in at some point. If you have any advice or tips, send us an email because we're not really plant people. Oh yes, I am a plant people, and I've got strong feelings. I also have some insights because Jason Blair and I were getting into making our own. He actually set up like a laminar flow hood and like all sorts of gear when he was looking at doing that. And then he ended up realizing that it was easier to subcontract a place to make stuff from his cuttings or at his wishes if they already had it out of Europe. And then he just switched to fish because the problem was bringing them in from Europe, the agar solution, the gelatin solution that's full of nutrients and plant hormones actually ended up rotting very frequently or just getting trashed or whatnot. Stuff would get stuck in customs, especially during the whole lockdown thing. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of things, one, technology wise, even in the last few years that people have worked out. And two, yeah, it should be should be easier. We'll talk about it, Johnny, for sure. He says we're gonna have us be stocking up on a bunch of plants soon too. We have a giant box of plants sitting on a table that we have to eventually open. Oh yeah. Susan, more guppies. What's going on? Welcome. Yeah, I love all the folks we're seeing. When I switch up the time, even by an hour, it makes a huge difference in who's able to make it. Fish robs. What robs fish? What's going on? It's very mean of you to rob fish. They're very defenseless. You know, they don't have a chance, and you're out there robbing them. So we're going to show you guys some cool little fish that I got. And then I wanted to show you guys see if the bettas that were breeding last night, see if they had eggs. I haven't literally looked today. And then we'll sit down and we're going to look at some websites that have some really cool fish. And I kind of need your help in hearing feedback of which of the fish you guys think I should get. And I'll point out which fish I'm getting rid of in my fish room because of and why. So yeah, Caprese Parks, what's up? Hello from Ohio again. You're looking better. Yeah, I had essentially well, not enough sleep, but also blood sugar and blood pressure dropped to a very bad low level by the time I got off the stream last time, and had to go get taken care of the next day, get it sorted out. The mix of meds and the lack of sleep was not good for me. But we're gonna move on someday. Oh, you got some strawberry leperinus. Oh man, I love those ones, and the obviously the leopard ones, but the is yeah, we'll look at those because I saw, I think I peeked the other day, yesterday, and I saw those. They're going to be Dansfish has some crazy stuff, and I don't know if I can afford all of it, but we're definitely gonna look at a few things. I put together a cart too, so it's kind of like my little dream plan. We'll see how it goes. So let's see. Oh, Susan Moore Guppies, hello. Who else? Oh, Miss Kitty and Corey Miller, hello. I'm just pulling up my phone so we can go mobile. I'm going mobile. I'm going mobile. And if you saw my sneak preview for the Betta documentary I've been talking about making for 2 years now, the DNA studies and stuff are complete. They have sequenced 776 different domestic bettas that had all the traits they were looking for from all the places they were looking for. And you'll see images of that in the little 3-minute teaser video I posted this morning. But I also am using graphics and editing and that kind of stuff. So it'll be a change. It'll be the first video with overlay graphics and things like that. And I think the way I'm going to do is break it out into chapters. So there'll be like one long video that's probably an hour long, but then I'll probably repost the sections at 10 to 15 minutes long each by their subject matter later so that we can talk about that. Now, the reason for making a Betta documentary, why? Well, it was because one, I was kind of not that interested in bettas for a long time. And I saw some of the wild ones and I was like, those are pretty cool. Then I started looking at the info on them and I realized that it was all copy and pasted. Every single bit of it is either copy and pasted or reworded from like 2 or 3 sources because it all hits the same points. And then I looked into the history of it because I love to do that. And I realized those are literally the same paragraphs rearranged. You know, they'll say over 150 years ago, you'll see that phrase, and you'll see children used to play with them, and then people started betting with them. And then they'll say King Rama III gifted them to a Danish naturalist named Dr. Cantor. And then they'll say Frank Locke imported the first ones in 1910. And in 1927, he got the long fin variety. So all of those things are parroted in the best histories I could find. So what I did is I have been scavenging old club pamphlets, zines, and minutes that have been kept from former fish clubs that some exist, some don't exist anymore, but they're kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes, but other times they're archived nicely. But bottom line, I'm looking at when stuff is when we can say like, oh, in Germany, it's very clear. There's a picture, like an actual picture. And this was the meeting in 1928. And they clearly have a plakat betta that is green or whatever it says in the description. So I like that. but I'm not going to bore everyone with like, and then in Germany, this happened. And then in this, so we'll touch on it, but it'll be a little more loosey goosey, and not that, it won't be that type of dry thing. William Barnes, what's up? Sketty Nona, what's up? Patty, what's up? Craig, what's up? How many more people can be up? Up, all the way up. Ryan, what's up? Okay, all right. Start what you were gonna do, Alex. Shut up. Okay, I'm doing, guys. I told her her name was Billie Jean as we crossed the screen. Now the camera is backwards. What do that mean? They really need to fix the. They really need to fix. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2. Can you guys still see my sloth from my birthday? So they really need to fix how StreamYard, how you're able to switch between things. All right, you guys can hear me. So in here, this tank, literally, I showed you guys last week that I trimmed everything. This was the height of it. You can kind of see the line. And look at it now. It's already almost completely full again. Those rascally Cabambas, the Rotala Annie, actually the Limnophilia aromatica and the Limnophilia hippodroides, they're growing like crazy. The red Mayaka, that grows over an inch a day. Ludwigia, the hybrids of the Ludwigia. So right now, my Ludwigia Rubens Red Star is flowering, and you can pollinate then these with another Ludwigia that you have flowering. And we'll do a video on flowering immersed plants and making hybrids someday, because I've never got into that. But I crossed Rubens with Red Star Repens, and I crossed Repens with Glandulosa and Glandulosa with Rubens, and then also with what's it called? Not Persicaria, but anyways. So moral of the story is, when you've got flowers, you can then artificially pollinate things and then let them go to seed, and then either plant the seeds and baby them, or just let them fall in your tank. And when they grow back, you'll then find, instead of, for instance, this right here, this Ludwigia that has green leaves and a red bottom side, when you cross it with the super red Ludwigia, which actually is kind of hidden under here right now, it's not even immersed, then you get what they call Red Star. And I wanted to make my own because I couldn't find any for sale, but it ends up with these red tip leaves kind of scattered throughout the plant. And different lines have different amounts of that, but you also get variegation that's actually red. If we can look closely, the veins are red when you do that. But yeah, the seeds are super duper tiny, and I've also hybridized different lines of red root floaters that way too. And I literally use the finest paintbrush, or I'll pluck one of my own hairs, and you'll get the little grain of pollen on it to do that. But yeah, so that's what's going on. But we'll talk about plants another day. I just wanted to show you guys. So I have these guys too, these beautiful Von Rio flame tetras that are, I mean, they're incredible. They came in wild and were like the most incredible thing I'd ever seen in the shop when they came in. Now, of course, they're going crazy because they're so shy, but they're like neon yellow and orange, and I've got 9 of them now, and they came in and they're colored up, but they only hang out super low down, hiding in the tangle other than like one rogue that he's gone rogue, broken arrow. He's gone rogue, sir. And he'll join the black phantom tetras up here, the skirt tetras, and my pencil fish in here. But then again, tonight we've got the two plecos, these two lemon eyes that are my 8th generation. Wait, 7th or 8th generation blue-eyed lemon plecos, and I think they're both going to be end up being males because I see some whiskers starting. But that's the last of them because I got rid of the adults that just bred every month on cue. I just didn't want them anymore. I've sold and kept so many of those things in my life. I want to try something new. So I'm thinking about Imperials, but in this tank over here, I have an interesting algae in with these blue shrimp. So if you guys remember this tank, it's basically, and I'm getting a filter ready for another project, but there's some blue shrimp in here, and actually it doesn't look like there's a ton, but there are like over 300 in here. When I started counting, I got to 200, and there's still as many as I could see in my line of sight in the tank all over, and it's like this densely planted, and they're just all over. So there's a lot of them in here. But what I wanted to show you guys, and what I've got out again, Aquatic Arts was carrying this, and I don't know if Dan's Fish will be doing this at all, or who will do it, or, you guys can just do it yourself too. I mean, that's the traditional way. But this is a worm culture. Worms. Maggots. No, they're worms. And if you plop them in there, there's the oatmeal that they're on. There goes a little oat. And then they're like a size smaller than vinegar eels, I'd say. Full grown, they might be even bigger than a vinegar eel. But if you harvest the top of them daily, you tend to get some small ones in there. And I've learned just through years of doing this, certain foods that you mix with them, shrimp love eating this, even though it's probably just like filler. It's just starchy filler. But then in the water column, let's see if will this zoom in close enough that we can see the actual micro worms. Let's see. So if we look really closely, we should be seeing some little worms swimming around. I'm trying to see if we can see them on screen at all, or if that's going to be just a bridge too far. But what we're doing is we're attracting the new residents of the aquarium. And yeah, we kind of can see, you can see the worms kind of floating in the water right now. But look who came to join us. It is my newest small fish, which is the polka dot. Sometimes they call it the yellow polka dot. I don't know why they'd call this a yellow polka dot. Rasbora. And it's a Boraris Sundadanio type species, or kind of like, actually more like the Chile Rasbora, the Phoenix Rasbora, the exclamation point. But this is the smallest of them. This is the smallest guy, and it's I forget the name off the top of my head. Anduzzi or Andrewsi. But Boraris Andrewsi, I guess. And we'll get some clear shots, and I'll make a whole video on them. What's going on, Jerry? Welcome. Good to see you guys. It's great to have so many folks in here. So that's what's going down in Funky Town in this tank. But there's also the smallest pencilfish species in the world in this tank, and I thought they'd be coming out to eat too. But I did just do this trick about 4 hours ago for my mom and dad. They stopped by to visit while they were in town, and I did just feed them not long ago. So maybe we don't get to see their little red tail dwarf pencilfish today, but I'll make sure that, oh no, there's a planaria in this tank. I already treated this tank with no planaria, and that's a really interesting mystery in that nothing's come in here heavy, like a big plant that would transfer planaria normally. So that's interesting. I just see one. Where you go? I don't know, but I'm gonna hunt that thing down till the end of the earth, because this tank has been free of planaria for quite some time, several years now. There's a nice pregnant female shrimp. All right, I'm gonna give up on these fish in just a moment. Actually, I guess I could try, exploring the entire tank and just moving the top stuff a little bit, see if we can corral some of them over. Boy, look at this. My Sao Paulo, my Persicaria Sao Paulo is getting so crazy. It grows out of the water within just a couple days. Same with the Nicea triflora. Cara C, what's going up? William Barnes, what's going up? I don't want planaria. I mean, a few planaria are great. They eat leftovers. But yeah, see, there's a planaria. If they have a triangular head, that's a planaria, and they're bad in my mind usually. Now, the thing is, I have videos of planaria and hydra both eating baby fish and shrimp. So I don't like that. Oh, look how pregnant that shrimp is. Holy moly. She's going to lose the load there. I hope she's having those like today. Yeah, it looks like she is. I can see the little eyes in each of the little eggs on her belly. But man, she's going to drop those babies if she holds on to any more babies at once. Wow. What a champ. So here we have the little Bararis, and you can see why they get the little polka dot name. You see the little white dots and black dots on their tails. And then the pencil fish is actually, there's a female pencil fish hiding back in the bushes over there. And maybe if I don't like lean on the actual glass, we'll get to see one. But then check out another pregnant shrimp, another pregnant shrimp. Yeah, this tank just produces shrimp like there's no tomorrow. I don't know why tomorrow is contingent on the shrimp population, but it is, trust me. The difference in the male and female of the little Bararis is actually interesting in that most little Bararis, you can't tell the male from the female at all, other than the belly and maybe the color. Like in some Fongzies, you can Rasboras, you can tell. But a lot of those little micro Rasboras, you can't tell the difference. And in these ones, there's a white dot on the males, and there's a black dot in the white dot still. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see the red dwarf pencilfish, but that's okay. And they're not the popular ones. It's actually a more uncommon one. So also another pregnant blue dream right over here. And this, believe it or not, look how well this plant is doing. It's lost all its pink color, which bums me out for how much I paid. But this beautiful plant is the white silver powdered Logonandra meboldi. It's a pink hybridized with the silver powder. And it's also, turns out it is a as they call them, either pinto or albino. It's a chimera. So pretty cool. But you wouldn't know that without it flowering or looking at the tissue. But yeah, the leaves, once they come up, they still have the metallic iridophores on them, but the whole leaf is white. On a few of the leaves, I just trimmed 2 of them, and then on the other half they have actually pink to it. If you can kind of see the pink right in here, but it's a pink hue of sparkles, which is pretty cool. Now, like I said, look at the micro worm culture. The shrimp love eating the starchy stuff out of there, so that's cool, because usually in a fry tank or a little shrimp tank, my problem is that I feed the little fry or the fish, I feed them that, and then there's nothing to clean it up, and it sits and it rots, and then the fry are exposed to a lot of fungus and bacteria and stuff like that that I don't necessarily want in my little fish tank. So, all right, let's move on because I guess my pencil fish just don't want to come out. I don't even know where they are. So, but like I said, a half-inch fish, a fish that only reaches half an inch long, full grown, very, very hard to find in 25 gallons or whatever. Scoop, welcome. The outdoor guy, welcome. Good to see you. So let's go feed the baby bettas and check and see if we have more baby bettas. And then we'll look at that website, that funky little website with the crazy fish on it. So we're going in, guys. Well, we are once I get both hands free. Okay. So here is my favorite tank in the entire house right now. And believe it or not, it's this tiny little tank. Whoa, did you see the gas come out of this micro worm culture? Holy smokes. I could have set off a rocket with the amount of CO2 that came out of that. It was like a sourdough starter. Matthew, hello. You are so welcome, and welcome at that note, but you are also welcome. So this needs a little more water. See how it's doughy? These worms are actually metabolizing. They're not true worms, they're nematodes. They're metabolizing the starch and sugars out of the starter here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to drop this right in here and switch it around. You might be able to see the microworms with the spotlight on, actually. Probably actually a lot better. If we're going to see them, this is our best shot. And this is a great live food for your betta breeding is so addictive. Yeah, I understand. How long is a betta generation? Well, it depends on how they're eating and stuff like that. Over in here, we've got some bettas. This is my community betta tank. And I would say that time between generations, usually for me is about 6 months before I move them. But we're going to feed them some of these worms too. They really like these worms. And I like to feed my male bettas in different spots in the tank. You guys might have seen the video where I'm showing all my bettas in this one tank. Well, now I've got some that are also up here doing their love thing. And let's see what exactly that is. So let's get some light. Aziz, light. I don't see any bubbles today. Oh, there's a few right along the edge. Last night, though, there were a ton of bubbles. She's the female, and her belly still looks rather swollen. In fact, it looks very swollen. I'm a little worried she might be egg-bound at this point. So that's interesting because there was a full nest for 2 days. She's been in with the male for 2 days alone. Took them out of the colony. And Rasbo is her mate in here. So let me find Rasbo. He's my nicest male, as in he never fights the females at all. Here he is. But he's getting older. So we'll see. They're in very shallow water in a 2.5 gallon tank. So they're in like maybe not even a gallon of water. Probably with substrate, they're in like a gallon. But right now, they're not breeding for me. Now there's more babies that I already know you guys won't be able to see. And it's just a moot point to try to show them off in this tank right here and right here. But we're going to feed these bettas some micro worms, even though the micro worms are far too big for the bettas. The thing about them is they tell the bettas that, and I've got these, I mean, I've got Malaysian trumpet snails down in these tanks, and I've got, we've also got pencilfish, the Beckfordi pencilfish. But the thing is that's really nice about feeding live foods, especially these really tiny ones, is that it will tell the bettas that, hey, it is time to have babies, and hey, your babies actually have food that's ready for them. And so it will let them know hormonally, as well as changes in water temperature and TDS and all sorts of stuff like that. Feeding them baby-sized food tells them in the thinking part of a fish brain that, hey, I have some babies, and now I should have them. Or hey, I have the ability to have babies, and now let's have those. So let me come around to another side here. And also on the way over to that, let's just take a glimpse at my, originally this was the lake inlay tank with the inlay loaches and the wild hatchet danios. The hatchet danios from the store, though, they've all started losing their eyes the last 4 months or so, and I have no idea what it is. It's only the hatchet danios, and they're healthy. Other than that, they're still eating, they're still holding their weight. But look, they just, a lot of them are missing an eye. One of them is missing two. So I don't know if it's like some eye, like pink eye for danios. And then these guys are ready to have more babies too. So I've also got some gourami babies because, oh, he's guarding his nest. Where is he? He must have gone down under. But a lot of times I'll just feel and make sure there's no eggs. Because every day he'll make a nest. But here you can see just a stunning, proud little male. Look at the black or silver on his cheeks saying, I'm the talk of the town. This one, not so much. He is not the talk of the town. And then the female, where is she? That's another male. Then we got a female in here hiding somewhere. So the lake inlay loaches, another awesome critter in here. This is going to need a trim, though, this whole thing. But the inlay loaches, their behavior is really fascinating. I kind of want to put them in a species-only tank and have them reproduce, since Lake Inlay right now is under such pressure. All the little CPDs are doing good and stuff. Obviously, some of my favorite fish are all in this tank. They're all from the same region. And then originally we had thick lip gouramis in here, but I moved them. Here's actually a thick lip gourami still, which is the one that's native to Lake Inlay originally. And actually, that's the color these honey gouramis are in the wild. They're more muted in the wild. And these have red lines when the males are excited. But this is a happy male just doing his thing. And they don't make as many nests. But let's come over here. We'll stop by this tank. Pseudomcgill and Rainbow Alley is doing good. All my little other gouramis, my chocolate gouramis, samurais, they're growing up well. There's 4 of them still out of the 5 that I got in October. And man, they were small when we got them. I brought them home and they would each one fit on my fingernail. And then also I was going to mention, yeah, so it looks like I did get a female here on the black line dwarf cichlid. And then this is the male. He's got the pointy tail, kind of blue and red with gold. And then, hey, Mick, that's a great point. Yeah, be careful feeding any yeasty foods to your fish, like the stuff that I just fed to them, the microworm culture, because it can bloat in their stomach. And also, yeah, so switch it up. I only feed mine every, like, twice a week, basically. microworms. Each tank only gets it twice a week. So you can see here, though, that the gouramis, the samurai gouramis, or Valenti gouramis, they're getting bigger, and I think I'm gonna end up with, it looks like 2 males and a female, maybe. And then down here we've got the other one that's in with the apistos, the Hongsloi apistos down here. Then we got the sunfish tank, the dwarf sunfish, the other dwarf sunfish with platies and with a bunch of shrimp. Go figure. I don't know how that's working out. So I wanted to point this out, though. I want to get rid of all of these guys. As much as I love that Lawrence Kent gave them to me and they were fascinating and he brought them back, the blue lip buffalo cichlids are meaner than hell. They are like fish frenzy addiction. What's going on? Good to see you. Holly, good to see you. Paulo, good to see you as well. We got so many beautiful people in here tonight. I'm so happy you guys have all decided to hang out and join me. Soon I'll be back where I can see chat more regularly. But anyhow, so there's a little female, and then the big old, or actually, I don't even know what this species. I should be honest. I don't remember which one is giant, if it's the male or the female. But anyhow, I do want to keep my my Synodontis. But other than that, yeah, I want to get rid of these guys. They're so mean. You can see their tails are beat up because they beat on each other all day long. This one is finely colored up, but look at the gender dysmorphia. So look at how big the male and female are compared to one another. There's a huge difference. And then the Synodontis, though, are supposed to pair off with them as possible hosts for laying their eggs and trying to sneak them in, as these guys are mouth brooders that start with a little cave area or nest. In fact, that one has a little nest under the filter, even though I've got coconut husks and caves, and it's been 2 years and no breeding has happened in here with these blue lip guys. I mean, I've seen them, all the motions happening, but no babies have ever come. And I think it's just due to the aggression. The aggression is nuts on them. And I'm even simulating a dry season right now. Like I'm adding water from the what do you call it? The dehumidifier. So that they are going to be in warm water, and actually I've been adding minerals to that water. So then when I do a big water change, I'm going to make the TDS drop even more. But I've just started 2 days ago dropping the TDS, which has sparked their spawning colors. That's the only one that's not in spawning dress right now. When they really get going, they start getting rainbow spawning colors. So that's fun. But they're just too mean. I think I'm going to move on to something else, because in the limited space I have, a 40 breeder, I might even be able to fit a 55 in here. And yeah. Oh, the Hongsloi came out to say hello for a second. Also, this tank is all murky because of the algae growing, because the window's right here. But that's a Betta rubra male showing off his side. The female's over there. And then the Betta machiensis, the wild ones, they're right here, the pair. They've had babies, and their babies are here with one rainbow darter for no apparent reason. What else is going on? Oh, the rice fish. They've kind of not been breeding because it's winter, but I've got all those black and blue lame rice fish. And then now that we're here, finally, Alex, take forever to do everything. We can take a peek at the 1-month-old gourami and Betta fry. So, as I mentioned, these shrimp just clean up all of that. Now, this is that 2.5 gallon tank, no filtration. a $7.50 light that actually heats up a little bit. So it kind of serves two purposes. And then I use Kabamba Furcata because it only stays pink if the nitrates are low. So then I don't even have to have a nitrate test in here. I can just watch the plant. So if it starts turning green, I know that the nitrates have crept back up. And these are all born from the Aquatic Arts starter pack, breeder pack. And they've all been born in the last 3 months, other than right now there's 5 of the original adults in here. So one's on that rock there. One's right in here, and she's got eggs again. But all these little ones that are actually now big enough to bring to a store, they took 3 months, even in a 2.5 gallon, and there's 51 of them at last count. Now, beyond that, there are fish in here, and the baby fish are going to be kind of hard to see and find. But let's take a look. There are 25 fit fry in here, and that might be, I might have to say give or take, because the thing about fish fry is one of the gouramis or bettas, with those two particularly, can grow, and all of a sudden it's able to eat its siblings. So that's one of the things you have to look out for and get ready to put them in, like, the secondary grow out tank. But here's one of them right behind the turkey baster. Try to get it to focus with the turkey baster. Come on. But we've got a little betta there. And if we look around, let's see if we see more. They kind of hug the ground when those worms floated down to the ground. So that's likely where they're going to be, is down lower. But here is a nice sparkly female that has the galaxy gene. And yeah, so, oh, and then there's another one right in front of my eyes, right there. But live streaming is like the worst way to see color and tiny stuff. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys that, yeah, the 2.5 gallon grow out tank is working really well. And all I'm going to do is then I'm going to sell off 30 of the babies, keep 20, which even seems like a bit much. I'll probably keep, of the females, I'll keep the best ones that I see, like 10 of them or 15 of them. And then I will probably include 5 or 6 of the males also to stick around. But yeah, so they're hanging out, doing their thing. Oh, there's some fish under the log. The cholla wood. And again, I do want to mention it because this all came from Aquatic Arts breeder packs, and we were giving those away and all that jazz recently. But all of the stuff in here, other than that plant and the stones and the substrate and the light and the tank, everything else though, the cholla wood, the botanicals that are in here, the live culture, all the shrimp that are 10 females, 5 males, all that stuff came from Aquatic Arts. The codes for Aquatic Arts are changing. And instead of Alex 15 and Alex 10 for 10 and 15% off, it's now going to be Fishery 15. It's probably starting in December. So there's the little teeny gourami fry. They're still really small. Even though they're 4 weeks old, they actually took about 2 weeks to become totally free swimming and like sentient. They would like scoot around for the first 2 weeks, but not majorly, and a lot of them bit the dust because of that. So yeah, so then what we'll do is we'll move the shrimp back into one of these tanks that are waiting up there. And yeah, oh, and here's the female honey gourami. Okay, so now we're going back and we're going to look at pretty rare fish. Let me wash my hands real quick and we'll wind up this journey looking at pretty fish. Okay. Are we good? Geez, sorry about the loud noises. We were getting reverb. Can you hear me now? The reverb was insane, really loud, and I was trying to stop it before it hit anybody's headphones. I don't know if it worked. But that was weird because it wasn't even up on the phone anymore. All right, we're good. Tom Silverfield, welcome. Hello. This is Alex's version of Voodoo Child. Yeah. Andy, hello, welcome. Come on in. Water's warm. Karen, the good twin, good to see you as well. I'm happy that the good twin is here and the bad twin has been put away forever, frozen in a crystal. Come on. I have the least responsive trackpad in the world. Come on. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I did. What, mouse, why won't you work? Oh, geez. What is going on? Close, close. There we go. Holy cannoli. The mouse, oh, it has one drop of water on it. That's what happened from the condensation on my soda. Sorry, guys, I'm coming. If you can hear me, I'm coming. I just have to move the mouse incrementally till we get things on the screen again. Okay, holy jeez. Okay, yeah, the condensation from this. Oh, look, it blurs it out. Like, oh, no sponsor, no sponsor. The condensation of it dropped onto the trackpad, and I couldn't do anything with the trackpad. It like successfully outdid it. Hey Alex, I finally had success breeding pea puffers. What do you recommend to feed the fry? Holy smokes. I would say good job, first of all. Right on. That's awesome you got them to breed. I would say feed them probably vinegar eels or, they might be infusoria eaters first off. And that might just be in your tank already, but probably vinegar eels or microworms is where I would go for the first 2 weeks. And then like the third, fourth, fifth week, probably baby brine shrimp, and then any sort of other little small worms or grubs, grindle worms or something like that after that. BJ Palmer, what's up? How are you doing? All right. So now that all of this is going on, all of you are here, everything is going just hunky-dory. Let's take a look at Redfish, Bluefish before we go to Dan's Fish. .shop. So all these links are going to be in the description if you want them. Now this one, I don't have any discounts, I got to tell you. But let me share the screen. But I did think we should pop over there and see what new and interesting critters are, and you guys don't need to look at me. Let's just look at this thing full screen. Um, Kuro Work says, I'm trying to find an Amazonian nano midwater fish to pair with pygmy cories. Any pygmy hatchet fish? Do you have any ideas? Yeah, look at the black darter tetra. Those are pretty cool. Or like a green darter tetra. Any of the darter tetras are pretty cool. If you need something that's going to be bottom to mid, or if you're asking like the top, then you could use any of the small pencilfish. There are 3 or 4 small pencilfish. If you look up dwarf pencilfish, you'll find them. All right. So what's going on over here at Redfish Bluefish.shop? Let's take a look and see what he's got. I don't even know. I talked to Jason today, but I don't know what fish he has. So he's got a Pistogramma Agazizii Rio Mayua. Oh, he has these still. These are these are so beautiful. Long fin veil tail neon tetras. So rare in the US, yet so beautiful. I took some of these pictures for him. Those ones, and is this the one that I took? Yes. Yeah. Wild stuff. Look at this Abacaxis, or Abacachi, however you want to say it. Rio Abacachi Episto. Beautiful. And that's for a pair, 145 for a pair, or each 72 bucks. All right. Let's see what else he's got. Oh, he's got interesting yellow tiger king cobra guppies. 35 a pair. Epistogramma inotis, only $29.99. These are a really cool, colorful dwarf cichlid as well. He imports all his from Europe. But interesting, very cool. What else has he got? He did tell me he's low on stock. Elizabeth, the Elizabethae variant of the Epistogramma, looking great. He's got shrimp. Oh, he's got the Fundulopanchax, the Gardneri, Clauseni, Akuru, or Kure. Let's see, what else does he have in stock? Oh, the black German double black rams. So these guys have solid black on their actual fins, whereas earlier the black rams didn't have black fins; they just had a black body. So now breeders are getting that. Only 20 bucks. Oh, he only has one left. That's why somebody's gonna swipe that on as a deal. And then look at this incredible Aphosimion bivitatum. Beautiful. Wait, that's for a pair? Okay, I'm gonna get those. I want those. Look at that. That's so pretty. Only 30 bucks. Okay. Adolphoi Cories. And these have been going for 24 bucks at Aquarium Co-op. Yeah, they're going for 28 here. So makes sense. Here are the European bred ones. Panda Cories, Silvertip Tetras, boring. Jinga Rubra. That's the line I have from Vinay as well. Or actually, I have the Jinga Sulfaris from him, but I do have the Jinga Rubra. Rocket Platies. Pistos are his bread and butter that he makes some really interesting import choices. It almost sounded like I said import choices, but that's not what I said. His glow light Danios from Lake Inlay, though, these things are crazy. The quality he gets of these are wild. So yeah, for rare killifish, the Nasinai, I always say Ninjensai or Nai Jisini, but it's that's not how you say it. It's Dutch, I guess, or am I right? Wait, is it Dutch? Yeah, it's something. And also Agazzizii Super Fire Reds. Ooh, Zebra Caras. These, I didn't know he still had these. These are the Rio Econo ones. And these are they look like this when I went and visited him. They're either white if they're not colored up, like same coloration below, but then white. And they don't get huge either. They get about 4.5 inches, 5 inches, that type. He's got some super blue carries, the Manakapuru redbacks. These are beautiful. This is a wild strain. I don't know if they've improved on it. I kind of feel like they have, but they're just absolutely beautiful in the shop when you see them. So some of them look more like this, where they're bronze, but they have these like swirling marble patterns. And then when they're spawning, they will color up like this in the best case scenario. It's a little bit of a stretch. Oh, he's also got C125s, the Spilotus aspidoras. All right, he's got one more page of fish, and then we're going to check out Dan's fish, which I do have a discount code for. He's got the long fin white cloud minnows for $5 a pop, orange fin Venezuelanas, which are the Aeneas Cory crazy morph that I love these guys. They're metallic blue and orange. But yeah. Okay, here we go. Here's more rare stuff. Colorful rare fish. Oh, I have not seen Inca 50. This is the one. A188. The Inca Banshee Pisto. These are beautiful fish. Had these for a while. This is when they're not colored up, but when they are colored up, they can be really cool looking. Mick M actually really helped me try to figure all that out. Now, he also has trifasciatas, which can look really cool. And then I think he had some McMaster. Oh, he has Hong's Low Eyes still, too. And now we're at the sold out list, of course, where we hit the platinum rice fish and the lake inlay sawblow resplendens. Okay, so now we're going to go to dansfish.com. But if you could do me a favor, if y'all in the chat, if you go there, if you could go to www.dansfish, hold on, .com/ref/Alex for 10% off your first order and support the channel. Oh yeah, what's up, George? You got some redfish, bluefish, Elizabethae Epistos. How were they? I don't know if I saw those ones in person, those specific ones in person that he has. But he's a great little independent shop in Washington. He's doing lots of importing. Here is the link. I'm going to put it in chat. So that is for your dansfish.com, and 10% off. It's dansfish.com/ref/Alex. You don't need to remember any of that though, because you can just go to my profile and you can just click on it if you guys want anything. But we're just going to explore again, this time while I'm awake. What cool fish he has. I'm just curious what the one native. Oh, nice. They still have 2 of the Notropis chrozomus, or the rainbow shiner. Those are such an incredible fish. Oh, and Stan Sung took the picture, my friend. So they still have a good like 35 plants to order from, even though they were saying like, oh, we need to get more plants. But look at this. I mean, let's just go to oh wait, it didn't save on this browser. Right, because I'm streaming. Mission. This is what I love. humanely sourced and transported fish that thrive for you. So I'm not going to tell you that Dan's fish is the cheapest. It's not. It's probably up there with like Aquatic Arts and the other people who do it right, though. I love gobies. Oh my goodness. Yes, I do. And you can't, you know, what's crazy is like this fish, I should send him it if he doesn't have the picture of it. Like I have had about 14 of the Stiphodon or Styphodon goby species. And this fish is incredible looking when it's colored up. Yet he's got that picture on it because that's what he has. So the honesty in the pictures is really kind of cool too. This is one of my other favorites. I would buy up all of these in my next order if I could, but it looks like they're probably all going to be gone. Yeah, there's only one available. Also, these are another fun one, but more fun ones. Look at these guys. Wow, only 50 bucks. These guys were like brand new, hard to find not long ago. And they stayed 2 inches. But look at that thing with the crazy blue eye. I mean, those things are so cool. And I mean, you're not going to find them pretty much anywhere on the market. They have to be caught out in the Pacific, I believe, off some island, I would guess. Let me double check which island these ones are from, or which, you know, land mass. It doesn't say, but they are from. Oh wait, here we go. Never mind. The Suram or Kuram Islands in Indonesia. Siram, maybe. I don't know how you say that exactly. Suram. But what's so cool about a lot of these Cycopus and the Stiphodon and the basically if it has this long body and the cute Kermit face, it's probably going to be one of the gobies that swims. So it's born, it swims in fresh water. Then all of the sudden, let's just take an aside because I'm so excited Dan has these. But so those oh, it says those guys get bigger than 2 inches. We have some that are 3 or 4. My bad, guys. I might have read that wrong. But I was gonna say, good to know, Johnny. Thank you. So that's a good point too. Johnny from Dan's Fish says we don't often get to see fish mature and color up. Yeah, because you're selling them. I get it for sure. And you're not misrepresenting anything though either. You know, sometimes those fish aren't going to color up for you. Sometimes, especially with gobies, there is a specific like 73.4 degrees and the TDS of 4, you know, it's like something super low, like RO water. And then it has to be a full moon once every 6 months. And that's when they'll color up. Now, some are kind of like that. However, most of those Stiphodons, you can dial them in and you can trick them into spawning. So the ones in my tank, if you guys go back and watch live streams from about a year ago, the only downside to them is that you can't breed them in fresh water and that they do pass away within a few years. Some are as few as 2 years and some are like 4 or 5. But they have such a beautiful life cycle in that the baby get washed out to sea, and they are what's called bicyclical in a lot of cases. So bicyclical migration or spawning patterns are when, so one generation, let's call it generation 1, has the babies in a freshwater stream. They come out as larvae. So they're like only a few cells. They're basically eyes in a spinal cord, and they are floating around at the whim of the water. They might as well be like a single cell, but you know, you get the point. They're not. They're fertilized. So they go floating out as this little wriggly, tiny little micro worm, and they'll come out sometimes of this little 2 to 3 inch fish or 4 inch fish in the case of like lipstick gobies and stuff. They'll come out in the thousands sometimes is how many will spawn. And then you see this milky cloud of baby fish, basically, in a larval state. So they're not formed with the yolk sac, a stomach, a mouth, all that. They're just eyes and a spine, and they just come out, and they have to kind of develop and have whatever nutrition is on them. They'll develop in the next day or two usually. Sometimes though, with these gobies, it can be a week or two that they're just supposed to go in the water and drift and be so small that they don't get eaten statistically. And so they drift out into brackish and then salty water, then the full sea, and then they get of a certain size where they can actually start eating, and they eat plankton out in the open water and like diatoms and stuff. And then they are not diatoms, rotifers and stuff. And then they make their way back. So generation one makes its way not back to where it was born in some cases, but to an island up to 700 kilometers away in the case of like Stiphodon Palau. And then the generation that's born at that 500 miles away or 400-mile away location from where they were born, they go up that river, have their babies there, and their babies return to where the parent or their where the other generation was from. So there are some that only come every like 4th year, and some that are on one island 1 year and then another island another year. And it makes it really, really hard to it makes it really, really hard to know which species are which. But there are probably another 2,000 to 3,000 species is what a specialist on Stiphodons was telling me. So, okay, back to your regular scheduled programming. So Dan's fish. Oh, look at these golden gobies. They're pretty cool. So just to make a note, max size is 4 inches, Dan said. So, or Johnny said. So I read that off. Sorry, guys. That makes sense though, because they're closer to like a lipstick goby or whatnot. Whereas these guys will stay. You saw them tonight when I was walking around. And honestly, it could be the black line sand goby, but this looks like every female and non-colored up male that there is in the Stiphodon family. Some have 2 stripes, some have 1, but they all have the little Kermity face. And then they all have a little suction cup on their belly that's made out of 2. Right here, you can kind of see it. It's a little circle, and it's a set of 2 fins that is round, and just like a suction cup, they press it against rocks or glass, whatever, and it locks them in place so they can go up crazy, crazy flows. Now, this one, Lentips species Palau, this one must have gotten reclassified since I last had them, because these used to be Stiphodon Palau, unless there's just 2 and I'm confused. Palauan goby paluensis. There's this kind. These ones are incredible, as are the flaming arrow ones. I mean, you guys can see here, when they color up, like even if they're not colored up, if you keep them on a lot of biofilm and there's like microcrustaceans and little things for them to eat in your substrate, they will have a beautiful look. And they like oxygenated water too. That being said, I have kept them in filterless tanks. I'm not going to advise others to do that, but these ones are pretty cool. Not quite as cute of a Kermit face, little grumpy face there, kind of like blobfish, but still super cool. And I mean, talk about a nano tank. If you need a show piece, these gobies are so cool. They will eat baby shrimp, but they don't do it prolifically, and they won't really eat adult shrimp usually, the Stiphodons for the most part. You want to double check that with each species, like some might, but I've owned 13 that haven't. And they've had in at other times, that I noticed they had the Annie, which I paid $60 for one of them, and they've got some of these for like $20, which is wild. Yeah, here we go. This one I used to have max size 1 inch 0.25, and they stay like this. They look so beautiful, and when they spawn, they turn into this. I think a snail or something's on the picture, but when they spawn, they're incredibly beautiful. But I kind of like them when they're just chilling too. That pattern they have, it's like a digital camo, and then it turns into like a braided pattern. And they're named after the naturalist who discovered them. His wife's name was Annie, and so they named him after her. Now, lipstick goby, I had one of these that actually chased me all over the freaking tank and would bite me. And last thing I'm going to look at in gobies, look at this. These tiger gobies, the Schismatogobius ampluvinculus, these are really cool. The Schismatogobius ampluvulus is a different one, but they're both from, I think they're from Taiwan. It doesn't say on here, but I think they're both from the south side of Taiwan. And then they're also found in Indonesia and like Macau and Vietnam on the barrier islands. But these guys will go under the sand with just their eyes sticking out, and then they'll like their mouth is turned up, and they'll just lunge and eat like they're an ambush predator. And you can feed them scuds all day long, and it is no shortage of excitement. Love those things. All right, let's see what killies they've got right now. The Aphocinians. So Redfish, Bluefish had these, but a different collection point or form. And Dan's has them way less money actually. They're a cool fish. I am not the killie guy though. I've kept a lot of Medaka, and I've kept a lot of long non-annual killies. But yeah, look at these yellowfin rice fish. So these, I think these rice fish of like Dan's, this is why I decided like I got to work with him. I got to promote him a bit and like show off the cool fish that are out there in the world, because he's bringing them into the country. Like the least I can do is show what they look like. But like these, they may be unassuming to people, but remember Medaka rice fish, believe it or not, for a while nobody wanted those things. At the end of summer, you couldn't give them away in Seattle. Like these gold Medaka rice fish, all the like gold, black, orange, and white, platinum, nobody would pay more than $2 or $3 for them like 5 years ago. And I thought they were awesome. And the daisies rice fish would go for more because, you know, they stay indoors more as tropical. But that's a really good price also for rice fish, $5.99. But anyways, these ones $29.99, and I get why. These are rare rice fish. The Java rice fish is common. Sometimes they call it like the triangular or the arrow rice fish. But this is another one. There are actually, I think, like 11 rice fish species, and some are brackish, some are freshwater. But I just think it's cool that anybody has them, because who knows what the next thing to take on is, or who knows what you could actually cross with what else, you know? Um, let's see here. Hey, ABS, welcome. Guys, if you have questions, you can do @Fishtory, and that'll probably get my attention. So yeah. Oh, you got Matano rice fish fairly often too. Right on, right on. Right on, right on. All right, let's look at the live bearers. Let's see what they got. They got stack endlers. Yeah, these are going for $50 locally too. I can't do it. But these are beautiful. These are the ones that Lucas Bretz was known for. The yellow jungle print ones, the multicolor tiger endlers. He had specifically the rainbow ones, but they've got Japan double sword tail. Remember, Aquatic Arts has some blue sword fish too. Blue sword guppies, that is, that they were giving away. Wow, look at this Hawaiian Variatus platy. Look at that. It looks like a Halloween surprise. Only $7.99. The way a live bear should be. That's the thing, is you buy live bears, and oh, these are the ones I have, but mine have the Mickey Mouse ears on them. But mine didn't do so well as adults. Mine actually, I'm gonna admit it, they all died. That I got from Aquatic Arts. They died during the power outage around that time, 2 days after. And I don't know if they just got stressed and something got to them, or if they just never thrived that well. But they had babies, and their babies look like this with the little Mickey Mouse ears too. But they're very, very orange and white rather than red and white like other kinds. Anyways, I'm on a tangent, but check out these. I mean, I love these like Mexican and like Honduran, Guatemalan live bears that nobody has. Like a lot of these are extinct in the wild. The butterfly split fin goodyead. These are another one of the goodyeads. You guys should check out the goodyead working group if you're ever interested in those fish. But I'm going to Puerto Vallarta in March, and my wife is looking forward to the beach. I'm looking forward to going to the Amica River and or all the little drainages, including the Tequila River. That's its nickname. It's actually a creek. But the Tequila Basin runoff has the tequila goodyeads originally from there, but they're not there anymore. However, now just this year, if you listen to Fish Street, you'll know that a group from the working group, Goodyead working group, has returned about four, I believe, of the species to the rivers that they were extinct in since the 70s and 60s or 70s. Okay, so they also have, this is really cool. I've never ever seen these. Also, I had these little yellow belly Cuban live bears, but I never got a male, so I never got to show off, or I never got to have babies. Just had these females that were kind of yellow, and they had some striping too. Mine were Jamaican though, not Cuban, but very closely related. The species is super similar. And then here though, platinum half beaks. Aquarium Co-op. These were $11.99, I want to say. So that's comparable to a physical store, which is pretty darn impressive coming out of the middle of Wyoming. But yeah, they look like little miniature alligator gars. And these are live bears. These have babies live that come out right here, and they'll have a group, sometimes like 10, but usually, I don't know, mine usually would have like two or three, and then like a few days would go by, and then they'd have a couple more, kind of like a staggered live bear. But look at these. I have never seen these personally, and they've got a throat waddle, which is crazy. And Lake Matano in off the island of Sulawesi, but no scientific name yet. That is wild. And they've got that midline flesh there. That's very interesting. And the orange tail, man, I got to get some of these. Look at that throat, man. And these obviously, as half beaks, the males will wrap around each other. They'll color up, maybe even more than this. I don't know. And they're just discovering all sorts of half beaks in Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Borneo. It is really amazing what they discover. And if you guys see something you like on Dan's Fish, just go there. Like this incredible sailfin molly. Holy cow. Go there and add it to your wish list. Log in, create a profile, go there on the link on my description, and then make a profile. Oh, here's a goodyead. Here's another goodyead. Here's another Skiffia, which is really a goodyead. And Super cool. He's got so many. These are not in stock currently, but he's had them. Here's another one that is not really explained very well. This collection point or whatnot, the yellow belly like that, that is wild. Some of them, the red line, that one's been explained well. The Tenga has been explained, but this is only 3 years old, I think, as a species. So Dan goes out of his way to get some crazy species, and those one, where is it? Then there's the Poso. I think these are the ones that aren't live bearers. Yeah, I think these are the one. Those might be the ones. There's one or two species that all of a sudden aren't live bearers, even though all the rest were. I have a bunch of these humpback lamias too. They're really cool. They're really cute. We looked at them while we were looking around, guys. All right, let's take a look at loaches. Rosy loach. So these can be absolutely neon orange. You guys have seen those in my tank. I'll have to send Dan some pictures of them colored up. But they can be absolutely incredible, the males. That's a little so some of them, depending on the collection point too, some of them have a stripe and dots for the females. Some of the males just have a stripe and then they glow orange, like neon orange. And then some have mottled spotting and some have nothing but pure orange. The Lake Inlay ones have pure orange. These ones I really love too. Um, these are sometimes called the dwarf multi-bar loach. They don't get very big, like maybe 2.5 inches max, I'd say, maybe 3. I don't know. But these were the ones I had spawning in my 40 breeder that's all planted, and very cool, super cool. Horse-faced loach. Wow, what a crazy good price, $8.99. And then, of course, Coolie loaches, $5.99. Green lizard hillstream loach. All these hillstream species are bonkers. This is like those butterfly fins, and these stay pretty small. They were calling this one like a giraffe at first because there's another giraffe lizard fish, but this isn't the exact same one. But I'm wondering if that's a male versus a female. The giraffe one, quote unquote, has just a pattern like a giraffe, like this one kind of does. That they named it that. But man, there's so many fish out there that it's just like wild. Look at this one. This is a horse face loach. Look at their faces. They're like horses. Go figure. Um, Super cool looking though. If you want a weird small fish, man. Okay, so then the piece de resistance, piece de la resistance. No, piece whatever. I quit. Hold on, Luke Wang. What's going on, man? Uh, how's it going? Awesome. I know what I will be grabbing from the website. Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead and buy the. Oh, thank you, George, for posting up the link. If you guys, Tangas are also egg layers. Okay, so I couldn't remember for sure, but yeah, the Tangas. Thank you, Johnny, and also, so Leo, there's no code when you buy through that link. You'll just get the 10% off, I believe. I think that's how it works, unless I'm completely wrong. Oh, okay. Johnny says also the giraffe isn't necessarily patterned on those little fish. It's done by like it's something else because the pattern doesn't determine like if it's called giraffe apparently. But yeah, I mean that's what I was saying is that there's another one very similar that I was looking at a local shop recently that was called like a giraffe something lizard that had that same pattern but a slightly different face. So I guess that makes sense. Time for a plane trip across the world for half beaks. Nathan Fishboy. Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Josh says his had spurts of babies, his wrestling half beaks. Yeah. The wrestling ones actually, it turns out, have been domesticated for a very long time. Leo, what's going on, man? I see you. I see you, man. Also, ABS, I see you in here still with Nancy B joining us, and Salient Aquatics. What's up? Okay, so let's look at these rainbows. So Dan is known for his rainbow fish, but again, use the link in my description. You'll get 10% off if you never shopped there before. It's a pretty cool deal. But look at these incredible fish, man. I'm not even going to pretend like I can pronounce or know any of these names. I don't. I don't keep big rainbows. I just know that some of them, like the Wapoga Red Laser, and actually I lied. I have kept some mid-sized ones. I have kept some Bosemani's, but I mean nothing beats a full-grown rainbow. These fish, if you've never kept rainbows, some of them get like 6-7 inches, but they turn different colors all throughout the day. I can't believe that's a $20 fish. Look at this thing. It's going to be a big old 5-inch fish, and eventually it's going to look like that. Now, you do need a proper ratio of females to males, like a 2 or 3 to 1, depending on the species, usually, to get them to really color up, like crazy color up. But even like these, a lot of people have seen these, the dwarf neon rainbow fish, the praycocks. Mine tend to be a lot more rounded, the ones that I've gotten. I don't know if it's a collection point thing or what it is, but mine tend to be, or it's probably just age, actually. These are probably young. That's probably what it is. But mine tend to be almost like a silver dollar type shape. Like they're like their hump is very pronounced, and so is their belly when they're full. And the females have a nice like orangish yellow color, and then the males have a nice brilliant fire red. But they're usually in pretty high demand for 10, like somewhere between $7 and $15 at your local fish store. I know that's a range, but economics are crazy right now of fish. Then the beautiful, look at this with that subtle blue and the reds in the tail. So cool. If I had the space, I would really consider like a 180 of rainbow fish. Look at this thing. The melanotanias and the chelantheries are like insane. Yeah, so some of them are slimmer. Some of them are from different collection points, but if you're a rainbow nerd and you didn't know about this place, you're probably going to need to go change your clothes. Like probably need new pants at this point. This is another really beautiful one. What I'm waiting for are the Cali Tawa and the Cali what was the other Cali one I was looking for? They had one. They have the Kali Timbuni, which is super cool. I mean, I don't know anybody else with these. So the fact that they're keeping and raising and growing these out, I mean, look at that. You get like a metallic blue silver sometimes out of them, and then all of a sudden they'll color up differently when feeding or sun up or sundown, and they just shimmer with like the most silver iridescent. It looks like someone poured gasoline on their scales. Like this one, you can kind of get a feel for it. And then there's also actual scales that turn colors in chromatophores. So they've got the chromatophore pigment and the iridophore adaptation, which is just wild. But even some of these, I would say go look at the adult pictures because it might be that it looks really boring as a baby and incredible as an adult. Even this one, you can really tell. Like it's got the like green mustard or mustard to green to orange to brownish orange again, and then blue and turquoise with like a slightly purple and navy blue tail with a yellowish golden to green eye. Like what the heck? What a wild, crazy fish. And the males will get really big, like this shape, stereotypically Rainbow fish kind of get the belly, and then they get the hump on big males, but females do too. It's just I'm trying to see if there's a picture of it like exaggerated, but the Radnocentris in particular, I saw some of those. They have, which one do they have? So these Chiwa Creek ones, these fish, these are the ones I have, but I have some Siri Creek and Puna Creek collection point. But these guys are, these ones have a lot of black in them, and a lot of striation in the black in the striation on the scales. But man, what a cool fish. These are, they can actually withstand cold weather too. Some people report all the way down to like frost, but I'm not going to quote that because I haven't been able to keep mine that cold. Mine, I started losing some when I got down to about 40 degrees, but still, I mean, come on. If you live in like Southern California or maybe even like Texas or something, you could probably keep them outside, especially if you just cover that tank or tub or pond when you're not using it. But anyways, so you get the point. They have a lot of those. Now, they also have a lot of catfish, cichlids, barbs. But let's just take a look. Banded darter tetra, those are a great little tetra. Splash tetra, these lay their eggs on leaves. They actually jump out of the water and stick their eggs up onto a leaf. It's wild. Green line lizard tetra, like these are unusual tetras. Bucktooth tetra. This rainbow emperor, I had never seen this morph with the red and the purple and the blue all tied together. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Those I might need. Then these head standers, those fish are always tilted. So their head's always tilted towards the ground. Pretty cool. I think this is also I might be wrong, but this might be also one of the splash tetras too, the 4-spot splash, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see what the other Copella, is it going to be? Oh no, it's a different genus, but anyhow, there's a similar fish. I might be wrong, but look at all the cool stuff, man. I'm so glad, like, because now, like, these Disticotis, these are incredible too. There's one called the watermelon Disticotis that is one of the most beautiful fish I've ever seen in my life. They've got these crazy fins too, kind of like drape barbs. Look at this sailfin tetra. I mean, I've never, ever, ever seen any of these in local shops. Look how beautiful. It looks like a little trout, little mohawk. So cool. And glass head stander. That's cool. Man. Like, you guys have me stuttering. Red phantom, black phantoms. The blind cave tetra from North America down in Mexico. Super cool. Gold tetras. Now these ones, I have a whole long video on the interesting relationship. What makes these gold is if they are from the wild. And these, it says on the listings, whether they are aquarium bred or raised. So these won't have the gold, most likely. They'll be silver, maybe a little bit bronzy, but the true gold that that you'd see, it looks like this. It looks like these diamond tetras. It looks like chunks of gold like laid on the fish. It's really incredible. Yeah, so neat. I want that splash tetra too. Okay, so we took a peek at that. Let's see what they have here. Oh my goodness, guys. It's what everybody wants.
Hey everybody, it's Dan.
Is this the whole video on it? Well, this, when anybody watches Dan's fish, you know
to show you. We're going to start with these.
Behind him, there are these crazy fish.
Me, what are those
and
yellow
everyone
and
says,
gold
"Oh
fish
my
behind
gosh,
you?"
what are
This
those?"
is the tank they see behind me in our live stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
These
Eastern
are
Standard Time.
the gold roseline
Anyway,
barb or roseline
they always want to
shark.
know what these are.
And
I've been trying to get more for people for a
were
long
paying
time.
$300
And I'm happy to say, if you look down here,
came out,
we have a nice batch available for
some of the unseemly sites that I frequent, but they are incredible looking. Some of them do revert, like there is that warning. But if you have a big discus tank or something, I can't think of a cooler thing to put in there. Also, there's still like some with eye problems and stuff genetically, just like I was having with the glow light Danios. But I think if I recall, they were listing some of the ones that had eye problems, or if their color had reverted, they were listing them for a lower price. No, so check out this too. This is a horned sunset gar. This is a rather new fish, but look at that chunk missing out of its nose. So it has a perforated sinus cavity, and there's a whole long thing about that. So now they don't necessarily have all these in stock right now, but I need to get this fish because the Parambassus or Parambassus is the cousin of and close enough because I haven't seen the lala. There's a species, Parambassus lala, that is from Lake Inlet, and it's a clear glass fish that's shaped like that. And they're super cool. Look at all these little mini chili reservoirs. Mini. Look at the long fin rosy barb. Wow. And those, I keep those outside for most of the year here too. Gold barbs and rosy barbs, I'll keep outside most of the year here, and they do great. Melon barbs, I've kept those outside a lot. These are one of the coolest little dwarf fish, nano fish ever. They only get to 0.75 inches. So delicate. You could have like a 1 gallon aquascape and have those in them. They're wild to look at. But yeah, it's just so incredible. Hey, what's up, Jess? Good to see you. Yeah, so Johnny said on those on Blitzer, on Alex, be quiet. So Johnny was saying that on the listings, they don't list the ones with deformities or eye problems. They list the ones with deformities in color that are still healthy. If you want blind ones, we'll sell them the same as the deformed ones, but you have to request them. Mel Wall, what's up? Good to see you guys. George RB3, Mary, good to see you guys too. I didn't see you guys earlier, but hello. And Coro, Pyle, what's up? Y'all are here. Pyle, Sergeant Pyle. No, I won't go there. But needless to say, let's check cichlids and then we'll round out the night. But dragon blood peacock, I guarantee you these are like a crazy blood red when they're older. Actually, I don't guarantee that, but most of the peacocks are wild. If you see my videos down in Florida at Imperial Tropicals and at the Aquaculture Research Center, this is not like black and then blue necessarily. It is like iridescence, and then there's like blue under it too. But like it changes like a shimmer of oil on water. It is wild. So they've got a bunch of different angelfish, anywhere from $6.99 all the way. Wow, that's a good looking fish. $15.99 here. And then they've got the, oh, I love these two. The Congo dwarf cichlids, Nanochromis parlus. So these are similar to the Nanochromis splendens or the Nanochromis transvestatus. Hard to say. Where the females are the colorful ones and the males are plain in the species I just mentioned. This one though, they're a fun one. If you've got a 20 long or a 20 and you want to, even a 10 probably, you could have a pair. Obviously cribs, albino cribs, the super red. That comes from the Nigerian morph, the Nigerian collection point, and then in Hungary and Yugoslavia and the former Czech Republic, or not former Czech, former Czechoslovakia. Those were popular in the Cold War era, and a lot of them were bred either more intense white and then red on the belly, or all black with red on the belly. And a lot of those strains weren't seen in the West until like the mid 90s, late 90s, even early 2000s. These guys, the Latiacara full vipinus, they are super cool. They're known as one of the smiling dwarf cichlids. Here's the smiling dwarf cichlid. Another Latiacara. There's also Paracara, and these guys, they always just look like they're smiling. Look at that little color streak. And these aren't colored up in these pictures necessarily either, but they're very delicately beautiful. These I really want a group of like these to go in my tank that I would move. However, all geos have an attitude, and so I've got to figure out what I'm going to put in that 40 breeder that had the that has the blue lip buffalo cichlids in it right now. I'm just sick of them. They're too much for me. Red hump earth eater. Look at these guys. I mean, the wet spot, you would be able to find some of these critters, maybe, but even then, he's got some incredibly unusual fish all the time. So very cool. More of these. Wow. I was looking for the what are they called? Flamus? Flamus? Doesn't look like there's any right now. I bet they're in the, I bet they had them recently. Oh, they had those yellow Acaras recently, and those are stunners. Big time. Wine Milleri, the Geo Wine Milleris are incredible. Juru Pari are also pretty cool. That is an incredible pattern on that one. I don't know. Look at that flag cichlid. Very cool. Alternative to angelfish. But those are stunners. Oh, pyro. That's what it is. Pyrocephalus, not flame. But the redhead Tapaho, these, when they're colored up, they get to be a good size, but they're super cool when they're colored up. But they get bigger than like a little crib or anything like that. Another really cool one that I'm sure they'll have back that I was breeding for a long time. Okay, guys. So you can see these are the ones that I just showed y'all tonight. The Tianacara candidii, or the black striped dwarf cichlid. You can see here that looks to be a female, maybe without this pointy tail. Maybe it's a male who got his tail roughed up though. Or maybe their colors are just different in different tanks. But yeah, it looks to be a female, I think. Anyhow, I don't know. The colors are more male, whereas that looks like more female. It's interesting to see how different lines and different collection points have mattered, honestly. All right, guys. Well, that is going to be the show. Let's see here. That is going to be the show tonight. I guess, we'll round it off. Actually, let's make it fair. We'll do 5 more minutes because that's all it'll take. But Aquatic Arts, they've got 25% off all their in-house bred fish. I don't get anything with their code, but obviously I want to tell you about their code. So you guys have like a week to use it for their shrimp, plants, and fish. And they breed a lot in-house now. They're trying to do that, including like their little micro crabs. And the code's on their site. Now, if you wanted to be a real G, you could still type in the code Fishtory15 or Alex 15, and you could get 15% off. Now, if you've used that code in the last month or two, then you'll have to go for the 10% off code, which is Alex 10 or Fishtory 10. You can use either one. They're in the description. But that supports the channel, gets you guys a discount. And yeah, they got golden half beaks, wrestling half beaks here. They've got black tiger bettas. I hope that's for 3. Yes, that's for 3. So they're $10 a pop. Wild style Betta machiensis or machiensis. Oh, they just sold out. Dang it. Literally, I showed you guys the ones I have tonight. I got mine from them. They've got the Indian pea puffers are back for only $6.99. Around here, they're like $10 or $11.99. They've got some really interesting guppies. So any of the stuff bred by Aquatic Arts is on sale right now. Purple harlequins. These are a gorgeous fish, definitely. So are these Japanese blue, red double sword guppies. These are a wild, colorful, crazy guy. Wild and crazy guy. Oh, it looks like they do have some more fish back in than they were doing. I like these. Call me boring and crazy. Yeah, okay, boring and crazy. But these are just a subtly kind of cool fish. They're not the black phantoms. They're not a skirt tetra like you see everywhere. But they're kind of cool. Little denison barbs. Oh, they got neon. The Pseudomagil luminatus. There's no such thing as a Pseudomagil anymore in Europe. They get mad at us for still using that. Oh, and look at this. We were looking at rainbows and rice fish earlier on Dan's Fish, but I'm not going to say one is better than the other necessarily. I like both these sources a lot. So go, take into account where it's bred. Is it a U.S. bred? Is it? But yeah, these are $14.99 at Aquatic Arts. But then you do get the discount. But this is what I was talking about, the silver dollar shape that I'm used to seeing. That's in like a little 2.5, 3-inch fish max. Usually they stay closer to 2 inches. But looks like they've got their Bosemani back in. They've got some Corys and this is the rice fish I'm keeping with the little white dots on, or little metallic lame, they call it pattern. It looks like the word lame. And then we've got these yellow and orange ones. We've got the pearl ones with the yellow hue, which I was trying to breed out for 2 years and then gave up. Hey, they got the dwarf cuckoo, Synodontis petricolas. These are the ones that were swimming around my tank that I said that's the only thing I want to keep from that tank. And that is the truth, laddies. And then they've also got reticulated hill stream loaches and here's for only $12.99 L144 blue eye lemon placos. Some of these are as orange as the fruit in orange, and others are more faded like this. Pygmy cories, they're great. Salt and pepper cories. These guys, the pygmy abrosis cories, will school with like reed tetras and most of the Hyphosobricon tetras. That genus, they'll school with them, which is really odd and interesting. So the only place other than Dan's Fish that I see regularly carrying Stiphodons, whatever you want to call them, and like Borneo sucker loaches and odd spilota and here's a spotted gara, only $6.99. I mean, from Aquatic Arts. Jason's Fish had one of those, but and then look at this green terror. They're starting to carry bigger cichlids now because of the new manager. I mean, he's not brand new, but we were talking and he's like, let me know what people are saying they want and I'll bring it in. So they want to hear from you guys. Get on there. Use the codes if you want them. And if it says bred by Aquatic Arts and not sold out, most importantly, you can get them. Also, the breeder boxes. This is what I started with. Oh, they're all out of yellows. I guess my yellow breeder box thing is kicking butt pretty hard. I'm gonna say that that's my doing, even though a bunch of colors are sold out. Let's pretend it's my doing. And then they've got wild forms, orange, blue, sky blue, the Sakura wild style reds. Oh, they're out now. Of course they're out. Snowballs, black diamond, green jade. But they breed all these in-house now. So they'll be back very shortly, even if they're not in stock right now. And then the last thing, they do have quite a few plants as well. So, and they do have, if you go to store, freshwater crabs, these are semi-aquatic, but they do have the pom-poms still, which have been gone out of the trade for a while in a lot of places. The Thai micro crabs just sold out today. Red apple chameleon crabs, all these meta cerama and these geocecerama or I don't know how to say it, geocecerama, I think. But like the disco one and like the Halloween one, vampire, these little vampire and sometimes they're called blood or vampire crabs or goldeneye crabs. They have such cool color combos. They're so trippy. So keep an eye out. They've still got the original, the Dennerle one. Gee, I wonder what company funded this one. Its species name is straight up Dennerle. And then they also tend to have a lot of freshwater crayfish. Yeah, they've got the CPOs, the Mexican orange ones. They've got the Brazos dwarf crayfish. And then they told me they'd be in shortly, like they're breeding them in-house now. They're going to have some of these crazy ones like the Thunderbolt, some of these Cherax. I'm not allowed to have any of these in my state, which sucks. But you do kind of need like a 40 breeder dedicated to some of these bigger Cherax. And they're just straight up predators, a lot of them. These beautiful purple ones and crazy blue ones. But the moral of the story is check out all these places. I am showing you guys cool things because it's stuff I like in the hobby, but obviously it's an ad, and an ad in the sense I'm not getting paid for it. I make a commission off of it. And then you guys know that I take the commission money and half of that goes to buying gift certificates for y'all in the holidays or when we do Christmas in July or when I just feel like it. But oh yeah, the tiger neorites are back. I'm stoked about that. Koopa snails are back. The batik neorite snail, which is like a batik silk cloth looking. The mystery snails, some of them are back. Malaysian trumpet snail. This is a different one than the one I have. These are the rimmed ones. The devil's spike snail. These get like, I don't know, 4 inches long. They get big. The pagoda snail. These are wicked cool. And also the Batman nearite snail. I don't know why they're called that. It must be a region there or something. Oh, and the olive nearite snail. Guys, isn't that the cutest little snail ever? Look at the little ridges on it. It's like a little olive. And then, of course, because they breed them in-house, they've got deals on the mystery boxes. And you get this deal before you get the deal with my code or their code used. So, oh, and if you need Pink's ram's horn snails or Malaysian trumpet snails, just hit me up. I'll hook them up. Dart cheap. All right, guys. So I am going to get out of her, but I've had a wonderful night. I know I still went for 2 hours, but and I said I was going to take it easy, but you guys really do lift my spirits. And when I'm feeling good, you guys make me feel even better. So I just appreciate all you guys so much. And what Patty said. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank all you guys. I don't think I missed any. I hope I didn't. I'm looking right now. Don't think we had any super chats or members tonight. That's no shade or guilt or anything. I just don't want to leave anybody out if I'm incorrect. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. Well, that is the new affiliate, Dan's Fish. In case you missed it, in case you didn't hear it, you just click on the link in the description. And if you need the codes for any other of my affiliate, the places that I really are helping the hobby, they're doing right for the hobby, and that have some incentive for you on top of, being a good person. Go check out those, and I appreciate it. Yeah, you're real late, Dr. Anthony. We got to talk because I need some cories that are unusual. I want some Tapajos cories or some Iquitos cories or some glory cories. I don't know if that's a thing, but should be. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Love your fish. Love the people around you. Take care of your tanks and your critters. I need to go cut those plants in that tank. And I'll see you guys on Friday, most likely, unless I'm run down. But that's that. I'm speaking in Seattle also on Valentine's Day, the 14th, and I'm giving a talk that no one's ever seen before. Brand new talk on humans and the first domestication of fish. And yes, domestication is the correct word. There is a gene, BAZ1S is the genetic marker that is associated with the neural crest formation in embryonic development and with face features and domestication, proportion of face features. So now we know that certain fish are for sure domesticated. We've mucked them up that good genetically. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Like I said, take care of your critters. Take care of your plants. Take care of the people around you. And take care of yourself. I'm trying to do that too. Or you can't do all the other stuff. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. And members, there's new content. There's a sneak preview of the beta video. So check that out. Much love. See you guys next time.